To speak to Darren Lyn. Darren, good to see you. What time is it with you and what's the temperature?
At this moment in time, it is about 6 p.m. in Houston, and the temperature here is 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 38 degrees Celsius. But with the heat index, that's even another 15 degrees higher. You mentioned about the inmate deaths, the 9 inmate deaths in South Texas. That has brought the unofficial total of heat-related deaths in the state of Texas to nearly 24. So I told you about that temperature. Let's move ourselves to Phoenix, Arizona, where the temperature has been 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 43 degrees Celsius for the past week now. They have reported 18 heat-related deaths, and they're investigating another 69 more deaths that could be related to this heat. The records have been astonishing across the United States. 1,500 record temperatures in cities across the country just since the beginning of July. If you take it to the beginning of the heat wave, which began around June 10th, that is about 2,500 different heat records across the country, from California all the way to Florida. And we talked about the death toll. There have been a surge of emergency room visits across the country, and heat stroke, heat exhaustion, and heart attack. The thing is that people don't realize, unlike a hurricane where you have a map and the hurricane's traveling and you're getting ready for it, when people say that this is a heat wave, they don't take that heat, they don't heed that warning, they don't listen. So they go outside, they stay outside in these hot temperatures, they don't drink water, they don't go into a shaded area or go into the air-conditioned area. And so people go out and they get these symptoms, they go to the hospital, and unfortunately end up dying. So we have to realize that these temperatures are extreme, these record temperatures. Just to give you another example, Las Vegas has hit an all-time high of 116 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 47 degrees Celsius. And in Death Valley, California, considered to be the hottest place on Earth, the temperature there reached 128 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 53 degrees Celsius. And meteorologists are forecasting that this heat wave won't stop anytime soon. They're believing that this could go well into the month of August.
Darren, you mentioned the heat index. As far as I understand, that means the actual temperature as recorded, but adding the humidity to it. So in other words, how it really feels rather than just the core temperature. The future requires cities to be built probably in different ways, because of what's coming and how people will live through these sorts of extreme heat waves. But right now, the immediate concern has to be to take care of people before those longer-term mitigations are put in place. What are cities doing to help people live through this?
At this moment, it's common sense methods. They're telling people that if you're going to go outside in this heat, that you need to do it in the morning to maybe about noon. Then you need to stay inside for the rest of the day and then come back out in the evening from 6 o'clock onward. But people still want to go outside. So a lot of cities are opening their doors to some of these public buildings, allowing people to come inside after going to the park. Or if they go to a national park, go inside some of those ranger buildings so that they have a chance to cool down. They're giving out waters at many different areas, volunteers dishing out that water to make sure that they have that water. You don't think it's that important, but one of the things when I went hiking at Big Bend last summer, it's the state park and the national park in South Texas, is that they say you need to carry enough water with you to get through a hike. And once you get to X amount of destination and your water is at half, then you need to turn around and come back because you're going to dehydrate and you're probably going to get sick and possibly die. That happened just this week. A 14-year-old went hiking in Big Bend. He ended up dying from the heat. But his father also died because he was trying to rush him to the hospital and he crashed his car. So, I mean, these tragedies go beyond just the heat. And so cities are trying to make sure people use their common sense and do the things, like I said, drink your water, stay in shaded areas, don't go out during the heat of the day. And that's all they can do at this moment because, like I said, it's not like a hurricane where they're saying, you know, hunker down and wait for it to pass. It's hot weather. It's been lasting for nearly 4 weeks now, and it's expected to last for another 2 to 3 weeks.
Darren, really appreciate it, and take care in that heat. Darren Lyn in Houston, Texas.